to one is where I'll be. Oh, hello everyone. It has come to my attention that what is happening to the world, the reason why everything is getting worse, is we are experiencing an IQ brain drain. Now, before Ronald Reagan allowed all the illegal immigrants to stay in the state of California, California was a completely different place. You can go and look at California beaches in the 1970s on YouTube right now if you want. It was a completely different state, completely different place. Well, now that California is nothing but burritos, the average IQ of California is lower than the state of Alabama. I'm from Alabama. That's right. Alabamians are smarter on average than the entire state of California. Now, how could that be possible? Well, we just keep bringing in immigrants from the third world. We keep bringing in immigrants from all over the world. America used to be a great country because the average IQ of America was so high that it made other countries look stupid. Well, now we're in straight IQ decline. It's actually called a brain drain. Now, there are roughly 20 million people like me with an IQ of 130 or more. My children and my wife are both included in that. Every single year, currently, about 1 to 1.2 million go away. They die and they are not replaced by people with above 130 IQ. You are losing the smart people that keep your lights on, that keep your nuclear reactors going, that keep your aircraft carriers going, that keep everything running. You're losing them. And we don't care. We do not care if you go back to dirt roads and no electricity and no antibiotics. We don't care. We just want you to leave us alone. Now, because you are all so low IQ and dumb, I apparently have to explain things like I'm talking to children. So, if you look at my channel, you might in fact see that when I was a young man and I was a young whippersnapper that was all cocksure of myself, I thought I was an atheist. But atheism, I'm telling you, atheism is not real. It is a hoax to sell books. Now, a certain type of Middle Eastern people sell these books, and they try to tell you that there is no God, you're God, you can make up whatever God you want, you can make up whatever morality, whatever rules you want, you're the center of the universe, your secularism, your own ideas are what matters. Well, ever since people have taken that attitude, society has gone straight to the bottom. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse every single day. This year, there will be Christmas parades attacked by cars of freedom. And this comes also from low IQ. There's also going to be more and more crime as the years go on. You're going to see more and more crime. You're going to see more car accidents because we're giving driver's license to people with 60 IQs. You're going to see more and more um, malpractice incidences at hospitals because we continue to take people with 65 IQs and now we're making them nurses. And we're taking people that should never be doctors and should never be lawyers. And we're forcing them into these positions so that they can meet a quota. So all of society is collapsing. All of society is going down because it is a brain drain, and you people are stupid. So I know how to talk to the low IQ. I know how to talk to the stupid. So I'm going to explain to you God. I'm going to explain to you the concept of good versus evil. Good people, demon-infected people. Okay? Now, a good person is a person that understands human beings have a hierarchy of needs, and they also have responsibilities that they need to do. You need to have an inner circle. You need to have friends, you need to have family, and you need to look after them and you need to love them. This is good for your hierarchy of human needs. This is good for you, for your growth and your development. Once you've established that, you can then move on to being a productive person. Find something that you like and enjoy to do, and then find a way to turn that into productivity. Find a way to turn that into a job. As they say, if you're good at something and you like doing something, it will never feel like a job to you. So, this is how to be a good person, a responsible person. There's one more thing about being a good person. You need to have children. And the reason why is very simple. It took roughly 38,000 generations of human beings. 72,000 human beings had to have sex in order to make you happen. 72,000 people sacrificed in order to make you happen. Now, if that's not a miracle, if your existence is not a miracle, then I don't know what the definition of miracle is. So, because, as George Carlin said, life started a billion years ago and it just keeps rolling, rolling, rolling along, when you take yourself out of that and you say, I'm not part of the life cycle, I'm not part of that, then you are becoming dishuman, inhuman. You're becoming demonic. Now, where does this demonic crap come from? Well, a lot of it comes from the media. The media wants you to be this way. They want you to be self-centered. They want you to be narcissistic. And they want you to reject your family, reject your parents, and especially reject having a family of your own. Why? Why does the media, why does the government want this? Because it makes you dependent on the government. You are no longer an effective person. You cannot move through the world making change, right? You are neutered and useless, and you will always, always go running to the government begging for something else. The government didn't give me food. The government didn't give me power. The government didn't pay my rent. You will be an absolute SLAVE for the rest of your life, and you will never do anything for yourself, and you will always wonder, why didn't the government give me enough? And nothing will ever be enough for you. Now, so we have a defining line. You have good people who are productive, they have families, they do what they're supposed to do, they're responsible, and they love people. They love people like their families and their children more than they love themselves. Now, when you come across a liberal, a narcissistic, evil Democrat, you can instantly tell just by looking at them and how many holes they have in their face and how many tattoos they have. They don't have time to love somebody else as much as they love themselves, because they love themselves more than they love the universe, more than they love the idea or concept of God, more than they love the idea or concept of humanity. It's all about me, 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 me. Government give me. Government give. Today, you will see, you'll go on YouTube and you will see people lining up, doing a press conference. This is an injustice to our community. The government is not giving us enough free shit. You will see that every day in America, and it's growing and it's getting worse. Now, Americans, actual Americans, you are not Americans. You are low IQ folk that replace the Americans. Actual Americans, like my grandfather that fought in World War II, he never asked the government what the government would give him. He always asked, what can I do to help my country? What can I do to help my nation? He fought in World War II. He came home. He built roofs. He worked at U.S. Steel. He did what he had to do. He had a family. He did what was right, and he was productive. That is a good person. Those people are going to heaven. Those people are Americans. Those people are smart, capable, independent, and they don't need the government. So now, I hope you understand, this is why the government must erase us smart people. The government must get rid of us, because we don't need the government. If you look at the Battle of Athens, I believe is the name of it, there was a town of World War II veterans that decided to just straight up attack the police, because they don't need no government. They are the government. Whenever they get together, they decide what happens, because they are smart and capable people. Now, do you see that today? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. People are not smart enough to organize. People are not smart enough to do anything like that. People are not smart enough to self-organize and self-govern their own communities. They're not smart enough. So what's going to happen is, as your brains continue to drain and the IQ continues to get lower all over this nation, the government is going to close down and restrict on you like a freaking snake. They will eventually ban guns. They will ban driver's licenses, because you will no longer be trusted to drive, because you will be too dumb to drive. And then that's when the government gets happy, because you will be locked down in your houses, the houses the government gives you, and you will not decide where you live. The government will decide where you live. And you will always be dependent on the government forever and ever and ever and ever. Think of the future of humanity as a boot being pressed on your face forever and ever and ever. You'll never be independent. You will never be smart, capable people. You will always be going, why haven't this government given me something? Why hasn't Trump bought me Golden Corral today? Please, for the love of God. Why hasn't the government paid my rent today? And you're going to keep doing that forever and ever. And your children, if you have children, will be even worse because you're going to abandon them and you're not going to actually going to raise them and you're not going to care about them anyway. You're just going to throw them at the Department of Education and be like, thank God these children out of my house. So once again, I hope I've made it really clear for even stupid people that don't really understand large words beyond 3 syllables. A good, smart person that is in the favor of God and is in the favor of natural order is a person that accepts responsibilities, creates an inner circle, creates a family, and loves that family, right? And they take care of that family because they love, like I love my children more than I love myself. I would gladly step in front of a speeding train if it saved my children's life. Um, and that is called selflessness. Ah, shit, did we hit 3 syllables? I don't know if you guys are going to understand the word selflessness, but basically that's what makes you a good person. When you are thinking about what can I do? What can I contribute? What can I do to help others and make things better? That's when you're productive. That's when you're a good, moral, and righteous person. And then that's when culture gets better. That's when the rivers are clean, the streets are clean. That's when there's no crime. And that's when Christmas is banging, man, and everybody's just having fun. But we have this epidemic, this cancer in our society, and it's growing every single day. These John Oliver watchers, these pierced face, tattooed, just low IQ people, and they're angry. And why are they angry? The government didn't give me nothing. The government didn't give me nothing. The government didn't give me a high enough wage. The government didn't pay my rent. The government didn't give me nothing. Look, you will always be an SLAVE, always. As long as you go to the foot of government and bow and go, please, I'm not a capable human. I can't do anything. I need the government to do it for me. Okay, that's called demon possession. You have given up your humanity. You, you, you're a drain. You make things worse. You throw trash into rivers. You commit crimes. You shoplift because it's all about me, 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 me. I didn't get mine. I feel like it's unfair. So I'm going to go to CVS and I'm going to loot it. I'm going to go to Walmart. I'm going to loot it because I didn't get mine. Life is unfair. What's the government going to give me, right? Those are demon-possessed people. Those are anti-society people. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. What's going to happen is as the amount of people above 130 IQ continue to drop by about 1 million every single year, you're going to have this extensive brain drain in America. Nobody's going to be able to run the nuclear reactors. Nobody's going to be able to run the aircraft carriers. Nobody's going to be able to do electricity. You're going to go back to the Stone Age. And I can prove it. If you Google right now, Gary, Indiana, a certain type of people have taken up residence in Gary, Indiana, and they have lost power. So what are they doing? Why isn't the government giving me power? The government needs to give us power. So what the government did was sent some power line workers into Gary, Indiana in order to try to reestablish the power. So what did the low IQ people do? What did the demon-possessed people do? They came out and they shot guns at the power line workers. And now the power company refuses to go into Gary, Indiana and restore the power. This is called the results of brain drain. This is the results of having low IQ inside civilization. They can't handle civilization. They can't handle having a power on. You need a certain level of intelligence in order to keep society going. And when you're so low intelligent, you shoot at power line workers, that can't be saved. There's no John Oliver TV show that can save these people. There's no tax money that can save these people. There's no government programs that can save them. There's no educational programs that can save them. You cannot take damaged, demon-possessed, low IQ people and then just give them a white liberal woman teacher, right, in high school, and then all of a sudden, yep, they're good. They're productive citizens. That's not how that works. You have to, first of all, you have to have innate ability. You either have it or you don't. Once you have innate ability, you got to work at it. You got to work hard. People are not just a genius. Do you think I just woke up one day and I was a freaking genius? No. I had to read an entire library of books over, 20 years or so. I had to prove it by being the top student in most of my classes and leaving everybody else behind. I was so bored in class growing up. I fell asleep all the damn time. But yet, they would wake me up and put a test in front of me, and I would ace the test and then go back to sleep. How? How did I do that? Well, I read the textbook the night before and already knew the information. Now, not everybody can do that. Not everybody is born with an innate photographic memory where they can read a book and then they retain a lot of it. Because most people, this is true, most people lose 75% of whatever they read right after they read it. Not me. I regain about 75% of what I read. So, once again, and thank you for staying this long, but we have a war in our society between two different things. The good, productive people that just want to get on with their lives, they want to work, they want to be productive, they want to have families, they want to practice Christmas, and they just want to be good people. And then you have the evil demon goblins rah, 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 trying to pull society down. And they're tattooing themselves and they're piercing their faces and they're robbing CVS's and they're robbing Walmart's. And they're going, why ain't the government give me some shit this week? And it's just never ending. It's never ending. If you give them tax money for groceries and rent, they will then immediately demand more. All right? So this experiment of just giving these people tax money has not helped them. It's made them worse. And the divide is actually growing. If you look at the state of California, the state of California now has a lower average IQ than the state of Alabama. Look it up. A lot of people say that the state that I come from, Alabama, is a whole bunch of inbred rednecks. Not true, Jose. Alabama has Huntsville, which is one of the highest tech sector cities in all of America. They build rockets for NASA there. They build AI infrastructure. They do coding software. They do medical research. Huntsville is smart, intelligent people doing science and engineering. And the rest of you are so busy flooding your neighborhoods with foreigners that your IQ is being flushed down a toilet and you can no longer do these things. NASA's not going to come to you and ask you to build the rockets. They're going to go to Huntsville and ask the Alabama mechanics, which are smarter than you, to build the rockets. Now, how can you become from a demon-possessed person to a person in God's favor that is good, productive? First, you need to admit you're the problem. Second, you need to start building your inner circle and caring about other people more than you care about yourself. Third, stop damaging your body intentionally just to disrupt traditional beauty standards. Stop poking holes in your face just because you don't like your father, okay? Call your dad and say, Dad, I love you. I'm going to go get a job. I'm going to pull my life together. I'm going to stop doing drugs. I'm going to stop being lazy and weak and stupid. I'm going to stop watching John Oliver. And I'm going to actually try to have a stable, normal relationship with somebody. That is your first steps. If you want to become a good person and if you want your life to change and become better, it's the first thing that you need to do. You need to realize, get on the path of productivity. Get on the path of creating something. Now remember, creativity comes from you. Now that's when you can be rebellious, right? You can be an artist. You can be rebellious in your art. Now, it's not my fault that you now live in a dystopia where artificial intelligence will check whatever art you make to make sure it's not illegal or hate speech or problematic. That's not my problem. You guys got to deal with that. But I promise you this. As long as you continue to spiral down and become more and more low IQ, the more the government will restrict, and hold you down. And they're going to ban everything. They're going to ban guns. They're going to ban driving. They're going to ban travel. They'll take your passports away because eventually your IQs will be so low you will not be able to trust it to go to Walmart. Okay. You literally will not be able to go to Walmart without smashing and taking stuff because your lead contaminated, low IQ, heavy metal contaminated brain, your microplastic contaminated brain, your high fructose corn syrup infected liver, your metabolism just. It's sad, but I don't have to deal with it and I don't have to worry about it because I have a smart family. We're smart and capable, and I don't care. I don't care if you guys lose airplanes, if you lose cruise ships, if you lose electricity, if you lose antibiotics. I don't care. I know how to make all of those things. All of those things. So I don't care if all of society goes to hell. That's your problem to deal with, not mine. So if you start to get angry or upset at anything that I said, I don't care. It's just the truth.